Hello and welcome into the RTI Reaction Show. I'm Ryan Sylvia, filling in for Rick Butler. This is Ryan Schumpert, as always. We're with Rocky Top Insider. Tennessee basketball, 2-0 on the season. Big win over Northern Kentucky. I just asked you for the final score. What was it?
95 to 56.
95 to 56.
You couldn't possibly believe they scored 90 points.
I couldn't. After the first game, I couldn't believe it. Big thanks to Jacoby Gillespie and Nate Ament, both going over 20 points. I'll start there. Which of the two is the MVP, or is it someone else in this game?
Yeah, I think I'd probably go Nate Ament because he just did a little bit more consistency across the board. I think he had 8 rebounds and 5 assists to go along with, we don't have the stat sheet, and Rick's a pro. We're not pros. I think it was like 23 or 24 points. So it was
25.
25 even.
I believe.
A little more balanced. I think he had 15 early in the second half. So I think he had the best game. If you're going to go true MVP, and what was a 39-point game, Jacoby Gillespie played his best aspects of the game in the first half when Tennessee was kind of opening up the lead. So you could maybe argue him from an MVP standpoint too. So I wrote it in the quick takeaways that not that either of them were necessarily, I would say neither of them were particularly good against Duke, and not that either of them were bad against Mercer, but just kind of, pretty average, especially Jacoby, compared to expectations. They played like we thought in this game, like two potential all-SEC guys and like Tennessee's 2 best players.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. Obviously, high billing, a lot of talk this offseason about those 2 guys and what they can do on the offensive end. And as you said, it's not like they were bad in the exhibition in that first game, but just maybe didn't live up to that really high standard that was
really
set
high
for them. Today, it looked like they lived up to that expectation. I thought Nate, too, did a great job getting to the free throw line, 9 for 10 at the free throw line, too. So when he got there, he hit the shots. And then Jacoby hitting 3 or 4 3-pointers, too, is obviously a big deal. 4, there you go. So that's what he was said to be the best at, and now he's getting to fall for him. So I think that's a great sign as well. Third place, if you're kind of ranking everyone here, is pretty obviously JP Estrella, though. What'd you think of what he did?
Again, just continuation of what he's shown so far this season. So efficient offensively. They got some good matchups against the kind of Northern Kentucky matchup zone that switched a lot and took advantage of it, but just really efficient. And I think, what it was 17 points, go along with 11 rebounds, so a double-double. But I think to me it's the 11 rebounds. Him scoring 17 points, like that's not really all that shocking to me with as skilled as a big man he is against this level of competition. But for him to have a couple assists, for him to rebound well, I thought he was pretty good on the defensive end. Again, we'll learn more as Tennessee faces harder competition, as we will about all these guys. But I build Estrella as kind of one of the X factors on this team coming into the season, and he's playing at a high level here in the first couple games.
Yeah, first career double-double for Estrella. Of course, didn't play much last year. Had that early injury that he had to sit out from the rest of the year. But the offensive skill set looks like something Tennessee hasn't had in a while in the post, and that could obviously go a long way. Those are the top 3, pretty undebatable. Who's the guy behind them that had the best game that's not going to take the headlines?
Well, I thought Bishop Oswald, again, played really well for the second straight game. He, at one point, Rick Barnes said he kind of got rolled up on in the second half, and they weren't going to. He didn't make it sound like it was anything serious, but he said we didn't want to push it. He played 25 minutes, but for a while, he was like the leading minutes guy. And against Duke, and look, I still don't know if I love Bishop Oswald being the leading minutes guy, but against Duke, it's like, what is this going on? Him playing so many minutes. Today, it just felt fine. And look, I think it's easy to point to. He hit a pair of 3-pointers. Obviously, that goes a long way to just being able to space the floor. But it's the other stuff. I thought he was really good defensively. He made a big impact on the glass. So he, after the Duke game, these first 2, I thought he's played really well and asserted himself as one of the better options at the 2 guard. And then Ethan Berg, who, I don't know, I'd like to see the rundown. It feels like he's playing those backup point guard minutes behind Jacoby Gillespie, but playing 2 guard too. He played well again in this game. He's 2-2 from 3-point range, a couple assists. It feels like both those guys have gotten off to a nice start, and maybe, I don't know how much distance, but distanced himself a little bit in that 2-guard conversation ahead of an Amari Abram or a Troy Henderson.
It's the 3-point shooting for Bishop that I think could go a long way. We all knew he was going to be a great defender, maybe see when it came along for him throughout his career, but he looked really comfortable on the defensive end. But if he's able to be that spot-up shooter, when you have teams having to collapse so much on Nate Ament when he gets the ball inside the arc, and when you have Jacoby shooting at the level he is, he's going to get those looks. And if he's able to knock those down, that's when it makes a lot of sense to have him in that starting rotation or that starting lineup that he's been in. Kind of on the flip side, who's someone going into this North Florida game in a couple of days that you would like to see maybe get into rhythm, take a step forward, or just kind of improve from the first 2 games?
Yeah, I think you point to 2 of the transfers. Amari Abram has said, not that I don't think he's been really bad in any of these games, but just hasn't found the way to make a huge impact yet, and hasn't done a ton to differentiate himself. Now, he had some open looks tonight that he didn't get to go. I think he's a good shooter, so it's not like he was just not looking to shoot or make an impact. And I thought he played hard on the defensive end, was solid there. And then Jalen Carey, who continues to go up and down, and I think he finished with one rebound tonight. Again, don't have a stat sheet because we're not pros like Rick Butler. But I said it after Duke. He had one rebound against Duke. I said he can't help this team if he's going to get one rebound in the game. He responded with, I believe, 10 rebounds against Mercer, and then back to one tonight. So you just don't want that roller coaster with him. I don't need to see Jalen Carey be an offensive force or be a guy that just dominates on that end, but I want to see him rebound. That's, I think, how he can most consistently help this team. And as they go to the next 3 before they go to Las Vegas, that's what I want to see from Carey.
And that's something that, these are the games to do it too. When
Yep.
you have these height advantages and you should be a lot bigger and stronger than a lot of your opponents, that's when you would like to see, as JP Estrella did tonight, take advantage of it, score at the rim, crash the glass, do all those different types of things. Anything else stand out from you tonight?
Cade Phillips gets to start over Jalen Carey.
Yeah.
Rick Barnes said kind of matchup dependent with the way Northern Kentucky can stretch the floor. They wanted a little bit better perimeter defender, so we'll see. He didn't say explicitly that was a one-game thing, but certainly notable. We'll see. He didn't make it sound like it was for sure a permanent thing either, so we'll see what happens there. And again, with JP Estrella, I've said it on our post-game with Rick after Mercer, we got a little bit. I want to see as many JP Estrella and Felix Akpara minutes together as possible, because I think that's the highest ceiling front court Tennessee has.
I'll put you on the spot to wrap it up. Game's on the line. They're playing Houston. 45 seconds left. Tie game. You have to get a 5 out on the floor. Who are the 5 you want from Tennessee right now?
Tie game, you said?
Tie game. So it's not like you need a stop or you need a bucket. Just tie game.
It's just tie game. Okay.
45 seconds left.
Jacoby, Ethan Berg, but you can convince me Bishop, Nate, JP, and Felix.
Is it if I said Tennessee's got 3-point lead, is it Bishop then?
Yeah. If it's a need a stop, it's Bishop.
Need a bucket, Ethan?
Yeah, and look, I think it kind of depends on the flow of the game too. Like, if a bunch of those guys are playing,
if it's a game Bishop's already hit 3 threes, and that's maybe.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's Jacoby and and Nate and JP are having great offensive games, and you don't feel like you need that, that offensive threat as much, but that one I'd say is the closest. Again, Cade's really good. Dwayne Brown's been good. Carey can help this team, but that's the front court I think that has the highest ceiling for Tennessee.
That's a great situation to have after last year. Where you were so thin in the front court. That clearly an area they addressed this offseason. It looks good so far. I mean, I think Dwayne Brown is something Rick Barnes talked about. Like, they wanted him, they knew he'd be good, but a very pleasant surprise that he's off to the start he's at. Next, Tennessee, North Florida on Wednesday. I promise Rick Butler, a pro's pro, will be back. He will have a stat sheet. He will give you everything you need to know after that game. We're with Rocky Top Insider, though. Go over to RockyTopInsider.com for all the stuff you need on tonight's game, the rest of the men's basketball season, the Lady Vol side of things, football when they get back in action, just everything Tennessee athletics over at RockyTopInsider.com. Thank you for watching.